Every year on Easter in Apple Valley, the school kids buzz with tales of a strange creature. It roams the countryside, preying on unsuspecting travelers. It is said to be a man dressed in a bunny suit, wielding a large hatchet, and stalking his prey under the cover of darkness. Many have claimed to have seen the bunny man, but none have lived to tell the tale. One particular Easter, a group of friends decided to go on a camping trip in the woods. They had heard the legend of the bunny man, but they didn't believe in such silly superstitions. As they set up camp, they laughed and joked about the bunny man, mocking the idea of a killer bunny. When evening fell, the group settled around the fire, roasted hot dogs, and exchanged jokes. Then Riley brought up the subject of the bunny man again. Everyone teased him for bringing up the played-out subject again. However, Riley was a captivating storyteller. A silence that seemed to crackle with tension settled over the group as Riley began to speak.
Legend has it that every year on Easter, a strange creature roams the countryside, preying on unsuspecting travelers.
Riley began.
The origins of the bunny man date back to the 1950s, when a man named Douglas J. Griffin was committed to the Lorton Correctional Complex in Virginia for the murder of his family. Griffin was known to have a fascination with rabbits, and he would often carve images of rabbits into his cell walls or crudely draw them by scraping the walls with shards of broken stone. His depictions of rabbits always showed evil soulless eyes and razor-sharp teeth. One Easter night, Griffin escaped from the mental institution, leaving behind a trail of dead rabbits in his wake. He was never caught, and soon after, reports began to surface of a man dressed in a bunny suit lurking in the shadows. Over the years, the legend of the bunny man grew, with countless sightings and rumors of his gruesome acts. Some claim that he was the vengeful spirit of Griffin, seeking revenge on those who wronged him. Others believe that he was a creature of pure evil, summoned from the depths of hell to wreak havoc on the innocent. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The bunny man is not to be trifled with. So if you ever find yourself in his territory on Easter, be warned, you may not make it out alive.
The forest seemed to have fallen silent as Riley wove his spooky tale. But just as his story came to an end, an impossibly loud snap happened somewhere behind them. Somewhere back in the black tangle of limbs and brush. The group gasped. Allison even let out a small strangled scream. Riley burst out laughing. Just like that, the sounds of the forest seemed to switch back on, and the heavy feeling lifted from the group. The night went on, they remained around the campfire, roasting marshmallows and telling ghost stories, which somehow seemed less scary than Riley's story had been. Suddenly, they heard rustling in the bushes. They all jumped up, thinking it was just a harmless animal. But then they heard a chilling laughter, followed by a deep, growling voice.
"You shouldn't be here,"
the voice said.
"This is my territory."
The friends were frozen in fear, unable to move or speak. Then, they saw it, a figure. He was insanely tall with massive muscles and broad shoulders. He wore nothing but filthy overalls. His feet were bare despite the fact he'd just walked out of the forest. He had long stringy black hair. The bottom half of his face was deformed, and wore a grimacing smile of rotten teeth. The top of his face was covered by a crudely assembled dirty rabbit mask. He was covered in blood and toting a large hatchet. It was the bunny man. He lunged towards them, swinging his hatchet wildly. The friends scattered, running for their lives. The girls shrieked mindlessly while the boys flailed in the dark trying to find them and protect them. But the bunny man was too fast, too strong. One by one, he caught them like little bunnies and hacked them to pieces. The last survivor, a young woman named Amanda, managed to escape into the woods. She ran blindly, tears streaming down her face, her heart pounding in her chest. She had never been so terrified in her life. Hours passed, and Amanda finally collapsed from exhaustion. She lay there, shivering and sobbing, waiting for the inevitable. But the bunny man never came. The woods were silent, as if nothing had happened. Days later, Amanda was found by a group of hikers. She was incoherent, babbling about a killer bunny and a group of friends who were now dead. They took her to the hospital, where she was diagnosed with severe trauma and placed under psychiatric care. No one knows what really happened that night in the woods. Some say it was just a prank gone wrong, that someone dressed up as the bunny man to scare the friends. Some say that Amanda suffered a psychotic break and killed all her friends. She's still institutionalized to this day, and she no longer speaks at all. But in Apple Valley, they believe that the legend of the bunny man is all too real, and that he still roams the countryside, waiting for his next victims. So if you ever find yourself camping in the woods on Easter, beware of the bunny man. He may have been described to you at some point as cute and harmless, but whoever told you that is dead wrong.